All right, let's talk about a hidden variable that might just be the secret behind almost every decision you regret. And that variable is your energy. Today, we're going to explore how to stop fighting your own natural rhythm and start designing your life to work with your energy, not against it.
I mean, really think about it for a second. Are you the same person at 8 in the morning as you are at 8 at night? No way, right? Your energy shifts, your mood shifts, and your decisions and actions shift right along with them. This isn't just some vague feeling, it's a core reality of being human.
Does this sound painfully familiar? The super ambitious, high-energy morning version of you makes all these incredible plans, just packing the calendar. But then, the tired, depleted evening you shows up and just wants to cancel everything and watch TV. It's in that gap, that space between the person who plans and the person who has to do, that's where our best intentions go to die.
So, this brings us to our first big idea. You have to acknowledge that there are essentially two yous. There's the high-energy you and the low-energy you. And the whole game is to stop letting one of them write checks that the other one can't cash.
Now, what's so critical to get is that these shifts are not random at all. They are incredibly predictable. You could almost set your watch to them. And understanding that predictability is the very first step to taking back control and avoiding those, why did I agree to that moments.
And that leads us right to the heart of the solution. It's a huge mindset shift. It's about finally realizing you are a human, not a machine.
This right here is the turning point. For so long, we're told to just push through it, to be more disciplined, to have more grit. But what if the answer isn't more force? What if it's just better design? What if we just accepted the reality of being human and started building our lives around that?
So the old assumption, the one that causes so much stress, is that we're supposed to be like a factory with this steady, consistent output all day long. But the new reality is so much more liberating. We're biological creatures. We have ebbs and we have flows. The second you make that switch in your head, everything changes. You stop blaming yourself and you start looking for smarter ways to work.
And hey, this isn't just some nice fluffy idea. It's actually backed by biology. So let's take a look at the science behind what's happening inside your very predictable brain.
So, the neuroscientist Andrew Huberman has this fantastic concept that you essentially have a different brain at different times of the day. Your actual neurochemistry changes, which makes you way better suited for certain tasks in the morning compared to the afternoon. So get this, it's not just your mood changing, it's your brain's actual capacity. So how do we actually use this information? Well, it's pretty simple. Mornings are typically when your focus and your willpower are at their absolute peak. That is the time to tackle those high-friction tasks. You know, the stuff you've been putting off. You eat the frog first thing. And afternoons? Well, that's when you're much better off doing low-friction tasks. The stuff that just needs a little nudge, not a giant battle of wills.
This whole approach is both so obvious and at the same time completely radical. We just work with ourselves as we actually are, not as we think we should be. It's all about acceptance, not just aspiration.
The behavioral economist Dan Ariely coined this perfect term, predictably irrational. It means that even our most illogical behaviors, like procrastinating on something we know is important, actually happen in very predictable patterns. We are, you might say, consistently inconsistent. And here is the huge payoff. If a behavior is predictable, you can plan for it. You can build a system around it. And let me tell you, a good system will beat willpower every single day of the week, and twice on Sunday. You can count on your patterns way more than you can count on feeling motivated. Okay, so how do we put this into action? It's time to stop fighting these internal battles and start becoming a better designer of your own life. The core strategy here is to understand that hope is not a plan. So instead of just hoping you'll feel like it later, you anticipate that you probably won't. You prepare for your future low-energy self, and you give that person the tools they need to succeed anyway. It's like being a good friend to your future self. Okay, here's a perfect real-world example. You've got an event to go to tonight, your tired, low-energy brain is going to start whispering, "Just cancel, stay home." A system is designed to ignore that voice. You put on a specific playlist that you know gets you energized, you have your outfit already prepped and ready to go, you create a simple ritual to get you out the door. You're not relying on feeling good, you're just relying on your system. Let's look at another one, the classic nighttime snack craving. The old way is to get into this epic battle with the craving, which honestly just makes it stronger. The design approach is to set the stage for a totally different outcome.
And the system for this can be ridiculously simple. Instead of fighting, you just have a little pre-planned ritual. You brew some hot tea, you take just a minute to close your eyes and breathe. One slow exhale. What you're doing is redirecting your attention. You're not trying to wrestle the urge to the ground. And a lot of the time, the craving just dissolves.
So, all of this brings us to the final and I think the most important part. We're turning this from just a concept into your personal design challenge. This is the call to action. It's an invitation to treat yourself with a little more compassion and a whole lot more strategy. It's time to stop wishing you were different and start working with the amazing, predictable human that you already are.
So I want you to ask yourself, where are you pushing against your own biology? Are you scheduling your hardest, most creative work for 4 p.m. when you know you're a zombie by then? Are you still fighting to become a morning person when your body is screaming at you that you're a night owl?
Were you just relying on pure brute force willpower to get something done and failing over and over when a simple little system, like laying out your gym clothes the night before or setting up an automatic bill payment, would just remove the struggle completely?
And finally, this is the question I want to leave you with. Where can you make just one small change to realign your most important tasks with your best energy? Because maximizing your life isn't about working harder, it's about working smarter in total harmony with yourself.